Welcome to the ICHAM Connected channel. In continuing our video series on foreign direct investment in Vietnam, in World Bank, Vietnam's sustainable development will hinge on green growth financing projects. In addition, HSBC has released a report in which they characterized Vietnam's economy as being fertile land for investors seeking growth. This presents great policy implications to help facilitate the blossoming of Vietnam's green initiatives, especially in attracting FDI. For example, with regards to the renewable energy sector, Vietnam is recording the highest level of investment in renewable energy in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations region. Moving away from talk of green growth, so far, the FDI sector has made up around 25% of the 1.2 thanks to improving demand and new output increases as headwinds eased. Coming in second place, the real estate sector registered the number of newly established enterprises at a year-on-year increase of 47.2% in the review period as reported by the Ministry of Planning and Investment. FDI mainly was attracted to the southern province of Bình Dương at nearly $2.35 billion, accounting for 21.7%, followed by the northern province of Bắc Ninh at $1.57 billion and Ho Chi Minh City at $1.28 billion. Finally, the FDI sector has also created 4.6 million direct jobs, accounting for 7% of the nation's total laborers. Passed in 1987, the law on foreign investment has been evaluated as an open and attractive law, heralding an era of FDI inflows, promoting economic growth, and improving the efficiency of the country's international integration. This trend continues through the observed increase in the volume and quality of FDI in Vietnam in 2021 and at the beginning of 2022, as was announced by the Ministry of Planning and Investment. So, if you are looking for a new destination for your business plan or are shopping around for new investment opportunities, why not here in Vietnam? ICHAM will come along with you to deliver up-to-date statistics and key facts to aid you in your journey. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, or if you'd like to stay more in direct communication with us, send us a message to the email in the description. Finally, don't forget to subscribe. Ciao and hẹn gặp lại! Hello and welcome to another installment in ICHAM's video series on foreign direct investment in Vietnam, in celebration of the 35th anniversary of the promulgation of the law on foreign investment. In this video, we will be discussing the bidirectional relationship between Vietnam's FDI and its labor market. In general, according to the Minister of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs đang, foreign investment inflows in recent years have had a significant impact on the development and productivity of the labor market and the income of workers. Labor productivity of FDI enterprises is 3 to 5 times higher than the general labor productivity of the whole country. For the past 20 years, Vietnam has succeeded in attracting FDI in low-value adding manufacturing for exports, which has facilitated a demand for millions of low-skilled workers. However, as we have mentioned in a previously released video on FDI and Vietnam's green growth, FDI in 2022 has mostly been concentrated in sectors such as technology and energy, sectors of which usually demand higher skilled workers, and moved away from sectors that are historically significant contributors to pollution, such as garments and textiles, where there is usually a demand for low-skilled workers. This could signal a change in the overall labor demand of the economy facilitated by FDI. In fact, according to the International Labor Organization in Vietnam's, or ILO Vietnam for short, labor economist Valentina Baruki, Vietnam's biggest challenge to sustainable development in its labor market is the ability to increase its supply of higher skilled workers due to an inevitable shift in focus to higher value-adding industries in the overall economy. The World Bank in August 2022 reported that in the first half of 2022, the economy has grown by 6.4%, the highest the country has seen in 3 years, but still lower than pre-pandemic levels. This economic rebound was primarily driven by a robust growth in manufacturing exports to Vietnam's main export markets, which are the US, the EU, and China. Of the total export value, 70% is accounted for by the FDI sector. Therefore, to further examine the relationship between FDI and the changing labor market, we should examine how the labor market has reacted to shifts in exports. Similar to the trends observed in the FDI sector, according to Baruki, exports in agriculture and textiles have become smaller in relative terms, while electronics and services have exhibited an increase. The labor market has mirrored this movement. In the year 2000, roughly 65.3%, or 2/3 of the employed labor force was in agriculture. 20 years later, this figure is reduced to a little more than 37.2%, or 1/3. The missing 1/3 is approximately evenly shared between services and industry. Baruki comments, while in the year 2000, agriculture was by far the biggest employer in the country, today services and agriculture are virtually equal at 37.3 and 37.2%, respectively, followed closely by the industry.
Alo, alo.
Yes.
Tăng cái mic này giúp anh cái.
Quit.
Yes. Okay.
Quit.
We can start now.
Yes, everybody's waiting for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Good afternoon.
But we don't see you. Okay, now we see. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for your interest and large attendance in person and online at our very first event of ICHAM Connected Workshop Series in 2023. My name is Christian and I am the Executive Director of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, ICHAM. Today's workshop invests in Vietnam trends and opportunities for Italian companies. Is a collaborative work between ICHAM and our partners, Deloitte Asia Pacific and Vietnam, with the support and patronage of the Embassy of Italy in Hanoi and the Embassy of Vietnam in Rome. Our events are also co-hosted by many our chambers colleagues in Vietnam and in Asia. Joining with us today, I would like to welcome the distinguished guests from the Italian Embassy in Hanoi, His Excellency Antonio Alessandro, Ambassador of Italy in Vietnam. Please welcome. Mr. Francesco Aguri, First Secretary, Head of the Economic and Commercial Section of the Embassy of Italy in Hanoi. From the Embassy of Vietnam in Rome, His Excellency Dương Hải Hưng, Ambassador of Vietnam to Italy. Ms. Dương Phương Thảo, Economic Counselor of, from the Embassy of Vietnam in Rome. And I would like also to introduce our technical speakers from the Foreign Investment Agency of Ministry of Planning and Investment of Vietnam. Please welcome Ms. Hoàng Thanh Tâm, Chief Head of Investment Promotion Division. And from our partner, let us give applause to welcome Mr. Onderigo Fan, Vice Chairman. We also greet and thank the journalists from Vietnam News, Vietnam Financial Times, ANSA, and fellow press representatives for attending and helping us deliver the information to business community. Of course, the workshop is nothing without the support and attendance of our participants, representatives from many industrial zones, developers of industrial properties. Finally, we greet all and all the members, ICHAM partners, Italian and foreign entrepreneurs who are participating online and offline in today's workshop. And now, to start the workshop, I would like to invite Mr. Michele Deccole, Chairman of the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, to the opening remarks. Please.
Thanks, Quid, for the introduction. Of course, first of all, I would like to thank to the Ambassador of Italy, Antonio Alessandro from Hanoi, and the Ambassador of Vietnam in Italy, Mr. Hong, to be with us today for our first ever event of the year that we do for supporting our member. And of course, also for the MFI, Ms. Tham, happy that she will join this seminar today. All the other participants, partner, of course, Vietnam and Deloitte speakers. As Quid mentioned, this is what the chamber do. And of course, sorry, thanks to the just new elected, I was Vice Chair Federico Vasoli, because yesterday ICHAM just got the new board of directors and Federico is there in Hanoi in presence with us today. So what I say today is very important, the activity of the chamber to support the members. It's what we do, this is our priority. And today, the example is with Vietnam. Is our members already many years, since the beginning when they started the operation here in Vietnam, with Alessandro that I met already a few years ago. And it's important for us to deliver to the message. In this case, we are connected not only the Italian companies, but we have also contact with the presence of other countries. But the message is the opportunities that we can get from Vietnam. Of course, as Italian Chamber of Commerce, we guide especially the Italian companies interested to come and to invest to get opportunity in this country. All the speakers have a very interesting presentation. Of course, we don't talk about the content of the speakers. Then we talk about opportunities, Vietnam sector to invest. But for sure, what I want to tell and underline, one of the sectors that Italy have to focus is for sure the set of the green energy, sustainability, and the renewable energy. Sustainability will be the priority for Italy, in my opinion. EuroCham organized last year GIFE. Italy get 2 pavilions, one of ICHAM and one for ICHAM. And 2024, we will have the new GIFE that will come, and we really hope the presence of Italy will be doubled or more that we have had already. Just a message of this, because if Vietnam need a lot help and technology in this sector, like water treatment or waste treatment, or this related sector is not only in the big cities like Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, but especially in the countryside and the provinces. And what we would like to do in 2023 is also guide our members or our Italian company to the provinces, together with the embassies, together with the consulate. Is very important, our presence there. We starting last year some visit also with the Ambassador Hong, that and also Ambassador Alessandro, before he take post in Italy, we visit couple of provinces, and we would like to continue, because the message and the opportunities that will come today for investing in Vietnam will be not only on the big cities, but also in the other part of the country. So this is the message I want delivery. They have many speakers with the presentation, very interesting. So we, as ICHAM, we want to underline how it's important for us to support the members. So we are here for you. We can help you in any way. Today, this is an example, and guide you in Vietnam, because with our 2 offices in Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, we cover all the country. That's all for me, and I give the floor back to Mr. Quinn. Thanks a lot.
Yes, thank you very much, President, for your opening remarks and shares. As you know, our chamber is operational in both cities, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. Yesterday, we had the AGM's ICHAM 2023, and that is the reason why our chairman cannot be in direct presence here today. And to
sorry, quick inform that we have connected with our desk in Italy. They collect the companies. Desk Liguria and Desk Trentino are connected with us. So this is a very big reference for the company located in Italy. We have also in Veneto and Tuscany. So we have 4 desks. They can help a lot the company, of course, based in Italy, to guide them to come here in Vietnam. Sorry for that.
Yes, sure. Thank you. And now to continue, it's my honor to invite His Excellency Antonio Alessandro to take the floor. Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon and good morning to friends watching us online. I'm very pleased to attend this opening, and I really thank the organizers, the ICHAM, of course, but also the partners of this seminar, Deloitte Italian and Fidinam, Fidinam, based in Ho Chi Minh City. And I also thank the participants, the speakers, in particular Ambassador Hung from Rome, and my close friend, and the Miss Tham from the MOIT also joining us. So thank you very much to all our speakers. It's always important for us to have this sort of initiatives, providing information to companies in Italy in particular, and in particular small and medium enterprises, the kind of companies that more need this kind of information and inputs from us. And it's also important, I think, to continue spreading in Italy the opportunities that arise from the Vietnamese market and from the Vietnamese impressive economic growth. I think that this is the important message, the first important message that we can pass to our companies following us today from Italy. But there are other messages that I would like to take the opportunity to pass today. First of all, Vietnam nowadays must be seen as a destination for value-added investments, not for cheap labor manufacturing projects. This used to be the model of some years ago, and it worked very well, but nowadays the country has evolved. So the country is now much more selective in choosing and approving foreign investments. I'm sure that our colleague from Moita will tell us more about it. But this means that if companies just look for a production platform for low-cost labor, low-cost production, other areas in Asia are probably more appropriate. Vietnam, the reasons for choosing Vietnam as a destination for your investments are probably others nowadays, and I would mention some of them. The presence of many FTAs, free trade agreements, that connect Vietnam with almost 60 countries all over the world. Skilled labor, good human resources, a good business environment, and political and social stability. So this is the kind of reasons that most encourage foreign enterprises to come to Vietnam and invest in Vietnam. And as I was saying, now the country privileged and high-tech, let's say, value-added and high-tech investments. So this is the new frontier, I would say, for Vietnam. Second message that I would like to mention is that investments always go hand in hand with trade, especially for a small or medium company in Italy. Of course, if they trade and have a good level of export and import, they are more encouraged to invest. Trade, how is it going? Trade between Vietnam and Italy, I would say very well. And the trade, the overall exchange is growing every year. And according to the last Vietnamese figures just released, $6.2 billion of trade between the two countries in 2022. This is a record figure. But there is a bit of unbalance. The gap between export and import is widening. So we should do more to increase our export. Of course, not to reduce the Vietnamese export to Italy. That is not in our interest. But we should do more to export better and more to Vietnam in order to at least contain this gap that is at present widening, so that it is also that also encourages more companies to come to Vietnam, to more Italian companies to come to Vietnam and be ready to invest. Third message that I would like to mention is sectors. As usual, we should then try to get into the specific sectors, and there are many sectors that are appropriate for matching Italian companies and Italian interests. I would just mention three. One is the green economy and the green transition. That was also mentioned by the president of ICHAM, Michele D'Ercole. Absolutely, there is a huge and massive plan for Vietnam to make transition to a zero carbon emission economy, and this would imply massive investments in all sectors of the economy. So definitely the green sector, the energy transition is a major area where companies are invited to come and possibly invest. Another area that I would mention is the modernization of agriculture, because you know that Vietnam is a very good exporter of agricultural products, and thanks to the FTA, this export also goes to Europe, but at the same time the European market is quite a sophisticated and difficult market to access. So there is a need for the agricultural sector in Vietnam to be more modern, to update and improve. So this area, the modernization and improvement of agricultural productions in Vietnam, is another area, I would say, where good matching opportunities can be found for Italian companies. Third area that I would mention is creative industries. There is a great reputation for Italian creative capacities in Vietnam: art, cinema, culture, music, sport, design. So these areas are now priority areas in Vietnam. Vietnam wishes to develop these creative industries, and Italy can be a good partner, an appropriate partner for Vietnam to do that. Of course, there are other sectors, but I will stop here, otherwise I take too much of my time. Lastly, and I'm finished yet. I'm always afraid to be too long, but just I want to mention that Italian companies coming to Vietnam they can find support here. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce, but also the Italian Embassy in Hanoi, the Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City, the Italian Trade Agency, ICHE, in Ho Chi Minh City, and many other structures of the Italian system, the Italian network. So there is a scientific attaché, there is a Unitalia, there are departments of Italian language. There is a network of organizations that can assist and help Italian business coming to Vietnam. And also the Italian companies coming will find also Vietnamese institutions ready to welcome and assist. And I would mention also the industrial parks in Vietnam that are always ready to be forthcoming and to welcome and provide and cooperate with the foreign companies interested to invest. So I will stop here, and I wish you an interesting discussion, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, His Excellencies, for your important information and sharing. And now from Italy, we really appreciate the participation, and I would like to invite His Excellency Dương Hải Hưng, Ambassador of Vietnam to Italy, for greeting, please.
Thank you. Buongiorno a tutti. My dear friend, Ambassador Antonio Alessandro and Michele Occole, and my congratulations to Vasoli as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to join the workshop today, and I highly appreciate ICHAM for organizing this very meaningful event on the occasion of the Vietnam and Italy 50th anniversary of diplomatic relation this year, 50 years ago. And I share many points raised by Ambassador Antonio Alessandro and Michele Occole, and I want to share with you some of my thoughts as follows. Firstly, over the last 50 years, the relations between Vietnam and Italy have developed significantly and comprehensively in every aspect. It is an excellent relation. Given the context of what is going on in the world at this moment, we know that stability of the relation is very important to protect your investment. On the economic front, Vietnam is Italy's largest trading partner in ASEAN, and ASEAN is Vietnam's fourth largest EU partner. In 2020, the two country trade turnover reached a record high of 6.2 billion US dollar, as mentioned by Ambassador Alessandro, up 11% compared to last year. And now there are more than 6,000 Italian enterprises currently doing business in Vietnam, and the Italian government identified Vietnam among the 20 countries that continue to be prioritized in promoting trade and investment until 2030. However, despite many positive results, our economic relation, especially Italian investment in Vietnam, is not really commensurate with the potential of Italy, the world 8th economy and a member of G7 and G20. Italy is a country with many strengths, both in traditional industry such as machinery, manufacturing, equipment manufacture, automation, agriculture, food processing, pharmaceutical, chemical, and oil and gas. And at the same time, Italy is also advanced in new industry, just as the renewable energy, high-tech industry, and of course, green economy, as mentioned by Ambassador and Michele, which is very essential for Vietnam industrialization and modernization. Secondly, Vietnam has achieved impressive economic growth with a GDP growth rate of over 8% last year. Import and export exceeding 732 billion US dollar and trade surplus over 11 billion US dollar. Implemented FDI capital reached nearly 22.4 billion US dollar, the highest in the past 5 years. Vietnam has become a safe and attractive investment destination with more than 36,400 projects from investors of 142 countries and territories, including Italy, and with a total registered capital of more than 440 billion US dollar. Thirdly, Vietnam, we aim to become a developing country with modern industry and high middle income by 2030. And a developed and high-income country by 2045. Here in Rome, we also see a lot of Vietnamese people increasing middle-income class who want to have more and more made in Italy products for the investment opportunity in Vietnam. Many Italian business came early and has been very successful in Vietnam, just as Piaggio, Bonfigliotti, Esanatri, and many other companies and small businesses. And Piaggio recently increased their investment of 75 million US dollar is a testimony of a favorable investment environment in Vietnam. So on the Vietnamese side, we know that the government has committed to create the best business environment by maintaining social, political, and macroeconomic stability, removing the bottlenecks of our legal institution, infrastructure, and human resource, developing supply chain, reducing transaction costs, especially the logistic and administrative costs, and building a stable, predictable, transparent policy environment. In conclusion, with many new opportunities ahead and our very strong friendship, favorable condition, and many similarities between our two countries and people, I believe that the investment from Italy to Vietnam will advance strongly in the near future. I wish this conference very successful. Thank you very much. Grazie mille.
Thank you very much, His Excellency Dân Hải Hưng from Italy.
Recording in progress.
Sorry. And as shared by ambassadors. Sorry. And we all expect to see a new season of close and fruitful cooperation between our countries, and certainly also a relief forward in trade and investment relations. Ladies and gentlemen, to better understand the opportunities for Italian companies with the Vietnamese market, now we come to another presentation by a representative from MOIP, which is, as you know, the ministry in charge for foreign investment in Vietnam. And now we would like to invite on the stage Mr. Hoàng Thanh Tâm, Head of Investment Promotion Division at Foreign Investment Agency MOIP. Please.
First of all, on behalf of Foreign Investment Agencies, Ministry of Planning and Investment, I would like to say thank you to give me the opportunity to be here today to share with you the information about the investment status and also the opportunities for the Italian companies in Vietnam. As you may know that 2022 has witnessed a lot of difficulties and challenges for all the nations in the world, not only Vietnam. We already witnessed the COVID-19, the effect of COVID-19, the climate change, the natural disaster, also the energy crisis, and even the military conflict all over the world. So we can see that this is affected to the trade and the investment all over the world. And in Vietnam, we also see a lot of difficulties, but also the opportunity for investment inflows in Vietnam. As in charge of FDI in Vietnam, our Foreign Investment Agency in 2022 has a lot of companies from all over the world when they have the restructuring their investment and also reposition their investment in over the world. Yes. So in the opening remark of Ambassador Antonio and also Ambassador Hưng, you already see the very general pictures about the economy and also the trade investment relation between our two nations. I just would like to make some of the review about the economic status of Vietnam and also the advantage of Vietnam in attracting the FDI from foreign country. So as you may know, the GDP in 2022 of Vietnam increased by 8.02% as one of the highest rate in the past period of Vietnam. During the COVID-19 in 2020 and 2021, we have reached a very positive percentage of GDP around 2.9 for 2022 and in